in.
Thank you. Thank you everyone coming here today. Thank you for showing solidarity for the people of Palestine, and thank you to all those that have organised this march and the demonstration and all the other demonstrations and all the others to come. We live in spectacular times when the United States tries to remove the president of Venezuela, when the United States threatens Cuba and threatens Mexico for trying to support Cuba, and in their own national security strategy threatens regime change all over the world. We need to be more aware than ever of the need for solidarity for people under a threat, under oppression or under occupation anywhere in the world. It's important we don't just concentrate on one particular issue. But we're here today because it is International Day for Solidarity with Palestinian prisoners. In Israeli jails at the present time, there are 11,000 Palestinians being held prisoner. 3,500 of those have no charge against them, no opportunity to defend themselves, no legal process whatsoever. Get that figure, 3,500 with no process whatsoever. We also have the so-called ceasefire, and I say that because I believe it is not a ceasefire at all. This morning I got a message from my good friend, well, an hour ago in fact, from my good friend Dr. Mustafa Barghouti, who's spoken on this platform many times. Listen to this message. The Israeli bombardment of Gaza in the last 24 hours killed 28 innocent Palestinian civilians, including 7 children and 9 women. Israel has violated the ceasefire 1,320 times so far. That figure is his figure. I believe it to be absolutely true. And then he concludes by saying, practically, there is no ceasefire in Gaza. And then Trump and the so-called Board of Peace want to take over Gaza, reoccupy Gaza in the name of Israel, build the Riviera, build the casinos, build the hotels, and hand the land over to global speculators. Those buildings will be built on the rubble that contains the bodies of some of those thousands of people, Palestinian people in Gaza, that have been killed. And so the idea of a board of peace, I call it a board of thieves and a board of rogues. Those people will be presiding over the reoccupation. And the idea that Tony Blair should be involved, I simply say this: Tony Blair has no place whatsoever in anything to do with the Middle East, Iraq, Iran, Gaza or Syria. He and his foundation should keep well out of the way. What is needed is the end of the occupation, the removal of all Israeli forces from Gaza and the West Bank. And those countries that have bombed Gaza and bombed the West Bank should be the ones who should pay for the rebuilding of Gaza. That means Israel, it means the United States, it means Britain, it means every country that supplied weapons to destroy the homes of people in Gaza. And the decisions on the form of government, the form of society, the form of buildings that are put up should be made solely and only by the people of Palestine, not by the rest of the world. Solidarity is about showing solidarity with people taking their own actions to decide their own future. It is not up to us to tell the Palestinian people how to live their lives or conduct their struggle or their defense. And On Thursday of this week, there's a debate going on in Parliament that has been requested by a lot of outside organisations and indeed by a considerable number of members of Parliament. It's a debate on the genocide of the people of Palestine by Israel, and it takes place on Thursday afternoon. I urge you to get in touch with your own MP and ask them to attend that debate and take part in it. And if they are those that supported the sale of weapons to Israel, then they might care to speak in that debate discussing genocide, about the role of those planes made in Britain, those bombs supplied from here, the equipment taken through RAF Akrotiri, and they might take the opportunity to apologise for their failure to support the Palestinian people when they were under bombardment. And I will use the opportunity, I hope to be able to speak in that debate, to give an idea of the outcome of the Gaza Tribunal that we put forward, which got in excruciating detail, terrifying in many ways, the detailed information about what happened in Gaza during the height of the bombardment. But I will also point out that it is not over, it hasn't finished, and this week alone, a $6 billion contract has been signed by Donald Trump to supply a whole lot more weapons to Israel. So our message here today in London is to the Palestinian people on International Prisoners Day. We are fed up with Palestinians being taken hostage in Israel. They must be released. We want to see an end to all arms supplies to Israel because of the occupation and because of the genocide. And we are ordinary people with decent hearts and decent brains and decent attitudes. And we cannot stand seeing our government complicit, because it makes us complicit in the bombardment of Gaza, in the acts of genocide and destruction of Palestinian life. So the message is this: end the occupation of Gaza and the West Bank. End the settler violence against the villages on the West Bank. And a message of solidarity and support to the Palestinian refugees whose whole lives have been lived in refugee camps in Jordan, in Lebanon and in Syria. Let the Palestinian people return home to their land, to their country, and let us pledge ourselves to work as long as it takes to help them win their freedom. Thank you.